So, I'm going to delve in a little bit deeper on tips on marijuana cessation, THC, Delta 8, whatever your vice, vaping. Get that dopamine replacement going is what you really want. Have various new hobbies that are going to bump up your dopamine, because you're going to be feeling really flat and lack of motivation for doing a lot of things. So my best advice, find something new, something a little bit bold, something maybe a little bit daring, get you a little bit out of your comfort zone, something that'll get your adrenaline going, you know, because if you're not, things that are mundane, you're just going to be too tempted to pick the weed back up and do something to spike the sensation of whatever it is you're doing. You can try martial arts, scuba diving, get into mountain biking, you could cycling. I mean, that might just be plain and boring, but just grab life by the horns and do things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone, and have several things. That way, if you're doing one thing and you suck at it and you keep trying and you feel like you're getting nowhere with it and I'm bored with this, that way you can quick hop to something else that another one of your hobbies you've been working on too as well, that's new and exciting for you. Because not everything, you're not always going to stick with everything you start up new. Not every new endeavor is going to be a passion of yours. It might just be something you do one time and have a blast with it one time, but okay, I got my kicks with it and it's not really for me, and it's too expensive a hobby for me to invest in. Totally understandable. But the more things you have that will distract you from marijuana, the better. Surround yourself with places, environments that don't go hand in hand with that. You may not want to be hanging out with the old friends you used to sometimes if they're going to be smoking around you. You know, separate yourself from that situation. If you do have marijuana in the house left over, take the king move. Take a leap of faith and just flush it down the toilet. You know, it's hard to do. I understand sometimes you want to do a plan B to where you're, it's a bit much, I'm just going to put it in the trash. Well, if you're anything like me, you'll be digging it out within 24 to 48 hours and you'll be back on it. So, it takes commitment. It's all or nothing. There's no moderation for an addictive mindset. You could go to NA meetings, you could go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, but I'm not going to touch that on this particular video. I'm no novice to those programs either, but I find with me, my personal journey, it's not for me. This is about my health overall. You know what I mean? I don't even want to be smoking cigarettes or anything like that. You know, and I've been a health conscious person most of my life, but when it comes to these other recreational vices, I like make an exception for it, and I'll be self-destructive. And you smoke lots of pot, you're just going to be coating up your lungs with black tar and crap. And if you're working out in the gym, that could be costing you a rep or two, and a rep or two could be what's keeping you from growing more muscle and getting to achieve your goals that you really want. Why would you coat a bunch of black tar on a high-performance car's engine air intake, the air cleaner? No, why the fuck would you do that to your lungs? Your focus and concentration will be better. A lot of people say, well, I do better when I'm high or whatever like that. I'm more creative. I think of like great things. Well, yeah, how many times have you been high? You thought of great grandiose things, and as soon as you're off that high, your motivation is downhill. You ain't got it no more. And if you didn't write down those grand ideas, what are they anymore, you know? And I find a lot of times being high, you're a bit delusional too. You have these great ideas, these great things you want to achieve, but then when you sober back up, you realize I'm not really being realistic with some of these things, you know what I mean? They seem great in the moment, because when you're high, the dopamine makes everything seem so much more romanticized and so much more graspable and attainable. But not to say you shouldn't have great dreams and try your hardest to achieve things. I just find that it's hurting me from operating at an optimal level. It's a holdback for men. It's a complacency thing. getting you complacent with being uncomfortable. You know, we're designed to be uncomfortable in certain situations. By God, right now we got a lot of shit to be upset about, but why sugarcoat it? Why take the easy way out? You know, I find that marijuana, alcohol, it's all really, at the end of the day, it's the bitch move. It's my way of not committing suicide. So instead of, I don't like the way I'm feeling, every day is a grueling pain, instead I'm just gonna smoke some pot and just escape these feelings. You know, it's just the last thing to do instead of smoking reefer. I mean, instead of killing myself. So, like I said, come up with some hobbies, have a backup plan to the backup plan, i.e. another hobby, a backup plan to that backup plan. If that backup plan falls through, you don't like that hobby, you're surrounded with tons of options. So that way you don't have the excuses. Another thing is, have a piece of paper. Write down on one side of the paper the negative things that are going to attribute to your life. If you keep smoking pot, if you keep smoking cigarettes, you keep acting like you are right now, you know, you could write down one side of the paper, it's affecting my relationship, I'm spending too much money on this stuff. Calculate how much money you're spending a month and calculate how much that would be to like a year, and see what you could spend if you weren't, you know, on something more productive, if you weren't wasting your money on that shit. So that's one thing. You know, the benefits, your health, your skin will glow, you know, you age as fast, you'll be more sharp, you'll be more productive, be the better version of yourself. God doesn't want us to be a bunch of numb-minded imbeciles just drifting through life. It makes you a zombie. You're just floating through life. You know, you're a hollow existence. You're an empty shell of what you were, you know, and if you are acting laughing, happy-go-lucky, it's all the freaking sativa facade. It's fake. You know, because a lot of the shit you're laughing about when you're sober, it's forced. It seems so forced and generic, you know, and it's really you're crying underneath. At least I was. So I'm gonna get over this Advanced Auto Parts here. Alright, so I gotta get going. Gotta stop in, pick something up from Advanced Auto Parts. But just something to think about. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe if you've connected to anything I said. I'll come back and check on y'all later. Thank you very much. Bye.